Good Sunday morning, everyone. Sunday fun day. Our travel segment today is travel to the kitchen.
Yes.
I decided, being the Sunday right before Thanksgiving, that we should utilize this segment for good recipes. And Patti is an awesome cook, so I knew that you would all benefit from hearing a little bit of wisdom from Patti. I do okay in the kitchen myself, and so I have a few things to share.
You aren't bad.
And one of our listeners, Joe Seals, he is the director of culinary arts for Lucia Mara Unified School District on the Central Coast in the Arroyo Grande region of California, and has shared some really cool recipes with us that we will make available to you online. One is his easy sausage and mushroom dressing.
Sounds really good.
And I just got this from him overnight, and so I haven't had a chance to look it over yet. But what we'll do is we will, with his permission, he sent it to me in a Word document. I will translate that to a web page.
So you can post it.
And post it. And so
it sounds really delicious.
Doesn't it? So if I had better knowledge of it, I would tell you step by step what to do, but I don't. So, but he's written it out. I mean, he's a culinary director.
He knows what he's talking about.
And his number one tip that he gave us, I've never met Joe. This is I don't think I have. Joe, if you're listening, I apologize if I have met you. But he said that he has a key recipe for the holidays. And here's what it is: turkey stock.
Oh.
And that's so I might
the secret ingredient.
Yes. And so at any rate, I appreciate Joe sending that in. Now, Patti, let's get to Anthony's mashed potatoes, which happens to mirror your recipe.
Yeah, it's almost the same recipe. I don't roast my garlic, but now that he said he roasts his garlic before he puts it in the mashed potatoes, I might adopt that.
It brings out like a sweetness in them.
Yes, it does. The caramelization of the garlic. So what I do is I boil. Usually I use a yellow potato because I just like the color and the richness.
Like the Yukon Gold?
Yes, and so I'll cut them up, boil them, standard what you do for mashed potatoes. I add a bunch of garlic cloves right into the pan while I'm boiling. And when I, drain the potatoes, that garlic just gets mashed in with the potatoes. So that's...
How do you cook your potatoes? Just boil them?
I boil them. Yep. And then, the standard thing, you drain them, you mash them. My mom was like, just, so strict about this when I was growing up. You mash them when they're hot with nothing. You don't add anything until they're completely mashed because that's how you avoid the lumps.
Oh,
then you introduce, once they're sufficiently mashed and all the lumps are gone, then you don't want to add cold milk to that. You're going to add some butter, or in my case, a lot of butter. a lot of Oprah status butter.
Hey, here's the deal. It's Thanksgiving. You
Go
know
for
what
it.
I mean? So really, I say that if you're doing this 1 or 2 days a year, maybe on Christmas as well, add the butter.
And if you ask my kids, that's the only time I make mashed potatoes, Christmas and Thanksgiving. And then pretty much through the year, we don't have them because honestly, it's not a super healthful food.
Yeah.
So anyways, the butter, then the milk, or what I usually do is a little touch of milk just to give them a creaminess and a lot of sour cream. But this year, I think I'm going to do what our previous guest suggested,
the
Leslie.
Greek yogurt.
Yes, the Faya yogurt sounds that's a good trade-off.
Now, when we make our mashed potatoes at home, we use a pressure cooker, and you always hear...
right. Yes, of course you do.
Because it's boom.
It's fast.
It's fast, and you don't lose all the the water-soluble vitamins don't get leached out into the water, and so you're not pouring that all down the drain. And then, and it keeps them nice and moist in the pressure cooker. Super fast. And then we do use a sour cream also, and I like pepper jack cheese.
Oh, that does sound really good.
I put pepper jack cheese,
cheesy potatoes
in it.
Oh,
and you just throw the garlic cloves right into the pressure cooker with the
and they just become part of the potatoes.
They just become part of the potatoes as you mash it, and so that's nice and delicious. Now, I think it needs a little spike of savory, and so during the time that we mash, unlike your mom, but I like your thought there. But during the time that we mash, we use a chicken stock.
Okay.
And then that gives it the sodium and the savory aspect that really just brings out the flavor. And I've never had anyone poo-poo my my mashed potatoes.
Sounds yummy.
Doesn't it? I know. Okay, now, Patti, let's get on to your What is it that you're sharing next?
Okay, mine.
Oh, the Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts. I have family coming from Arizona, and I have nieces and nephews, and they're young. And my sister has already texted me several times to confirm that I am in fact making Brussels sprouts, because that was the one thing I couldn't. That they were gone. I did not have no leftovers. Everyone just. The first year I made them, gobbled them up.
These were like the #1 I hate ... foods just like 10, 20 years ago. And now they are the it food. Isn't that funny? Is it because they're selling them on the stock now and they just look cool?
They are a little more intriguing. I know Trader Joe's is one of those places selling them on the stock. Costco has a great price on a bag that are already cut. You just kind of clean them up a little bit. What I do is cut them in half, clean them up. Then I stir together a little olive oil and crushed garlic so that you get that, of course, and a little sprinkle of salt in there.
That's like the basis for so many things.
It's the standard ingredient in my kitchen. Toss the Brussels sprouts in that olive oil and garlic concoction.
And we're talking like hot, like they sizzle when you drop them in?
Well, so you toss them around in that to get them coated.
Okay.
Then hot pan, pretty hot, medium to medium high. You got to watch that heat in a nonstick pan. Put them in there, and I always kind of keep turning them to put them face down so that they get browned. You want not blackened because that's easy to do, but really browned, really, really browned, caramelizing them. And then once they're all soft and browned, into a bowl, stick of butter.
Wait, here comes the butter again.
Stick of butter because I'm making a giant bowl for a huge family.
Right.
So kind of, you can do that proportionally. And then the secret ingredient. A bunch, for what I'm doing, it would a big bowl of Brussels sprouts, a cup of shredded Parmesan. They're kind of cooled a little bit because you don't want to really melt the Parmesan. You just want to coat the Brussels sprouts in that Parmesan. Big hit at my family's.
The Parmesan would spike it with that nice nutty, salty flavor, which I would imagine clearly pairs well with the Brussels sprout flavor.
I'm telling you, they're a big hit with small children, if you can believe that.
That is crazy. When I first had Brussels sprouts when I was a kid, I nicknamed them tiny bites of bad breath.
Oh,
that's what they tasted
little
like
cabbages.
To me. Little cabbages. And I was just like, oh, why would anyone ever eat these? Then I had them roasted for the.
Oh, that's also good.
And it changed my opinion on Brussels sprouts in a heartbeat. And,
my mom just boiled them and gave them to us as little cabbages, and. I'm sorry, Mom. Ew.
No, I know. But there's so many delicious ways. And I think that whole dawning of the roasting and bringing out the flavors that way are like
that
the way
caramelization really does something to change the flavor.
Because that's what you're doing in the pan with your
or
recipe.
the roasting, either way.
Yeah. And so, okay, so for one final dish, we have the quinoa dish available online. And so I'll send people online for that.
Oh, we're running out of time.
Wow, I know. I just heard the music. Oh, I wanted to share my recipe for mulled wine.
And I want to hear that.
I'll just have to put it online because we are out of time for this segment. So I apologize, everyone at home. But we've got a full hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio coming up after the top of the hour here. And we've got some fantastic guests, including wine pairing. So we'll still give you some wine tips for the holidays. All right, everyone. I'm your host, Randol White, joined by the lovely, talented Patti Piburn. You're listening to Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. Everything we've mentioned is available at eatdrinkexplore.com.